Hey, what's up? So now I'm going to show you how we can create asynchronous actions so we can maybe fetch some data from a specific API. And for only demoing this, I will use this API. It's called JSON placeholder. It's built on top of JSON server, really nice, and LowDB. But to use this, we have actually many routes. So we have posts, comments, albums, photos, and to-dos, and users. I'll be working with posts, and for example, this is the URL. I'll put it in the description. Just go / posts, and that's it. But this will returns to you every post they have. I don't want to abuse their system. I like that they have this for free, so I'll just put limit 5 like this to just get 5 posts. In case you don't know this, you can do it like this, _limit, and this is the limit you want. Maybe 1. Yeah, so to start doing this will be maybe 2 parts or 3 parts. So I'll make the first one really fast because it's stuff that we already did. And let me just commit these changes. So git add commit. These are the changes from the previous video. Rep components. Okay, anyway, so these are posts, and in our Redux store we have to-dos, as you can see. Now let's implement the posts state. So we will have the same structure here. So let's create the actions file, the action types file, the reducer file, and let's create the model.js. So yeah, it's just, and yeah, the index file. Nice. So I like to start with my action types. So each asynchronous action, and this is actually from the documentation, async actions redux. Usually the stuff that you are interested in regarding your app state in HTTP requests or asynchronous actions, that is 3 cases. The first one, when the action have been started. The second one, when the action have been finished successfully. The third one is when the action failed. So you have 3 kind of action types to implement for each asynchronous action. So let's start doing this here. Like the action types in the to-dos, this will be just normal strings. So const or export const fetch posts started. This action will be dispatched when we start fetching the data, the posts in this case. This will be the same value, but now I will put our namespace, so like this. Now export const, the second one will be fetch posts success. This is when the request returns with no errors. The same value. The last one, fetch posts failure. Fail. Yeah, like this. Okay, these are our action types. You can close this. Now let's go to our actions. And remember, our actions, they are just functions that returns object. And if you think about it, you can actually pass this object manually in your dispatch function here, and that will be fine. But this makes things a lot more organized, and it helps you with unit tests. And I think these are the 2 main things that this helps you. It simplifies stuff and separate them, and it simplifies your unit test. So and these, by the way, are called action creators because it's a function that creates an action. In case if you ever heard this word, you know what it is. It's just a function that returns an object that represents the action that have been dispatched. So let's create one for the posts. Actually, we will create like 3 for now. We will increase them but let's just import everything, or let's import these, yeah, everything from the action types: the failure, the started, the success. Let me format the document. Yeah. Now export const. These are just functions. So fetch posts started. This will only just return an object with type fetch posts start. Now another function called fetch posts success. This function or action creator will accept the posts, array of posts, and return an object with type will be fetch post success, and posts will be posts. Now export const fetch posts. Yeah, just wait a moment. My PC froze. But basically, you will create most of the time you will create a function creator for each action type you have. Failure. And this actually will be similar to the started. It will just return an object with type fetch post. I'll get this one. Yeah, and that's it for our actions for now. And if you think about it, this is similar to the to-dos. We did not touch the asynchronous actions yet. This will be in the next video. This one we will just set up the store for the posts in our model. Or yeah, I will create the class post. I'll have a constructor. The properties will be these, right? So let's just copy, put them here for a reference, and let's just put them now. ID, title, body. Let's just now assign them to the properties for the object. So this dot ID equal ID, this dot user ID equal this dot title, oops, and this dot body equal body. And let me make the ID the first one, right? Makes sense like this. Let's format it. And yeah, this is it for the posts. Now the reducer, this will define the initial state for now, but we will actually at some point also output these cases. So remember, the first time your app will start, it will call all your reducers, and you should always return a default state, because this is the original. This will be the original state when your app starts. So let's create this for the posts. So export const, call just post like this. Remember, we will accept the state. This is the previous state, and we will accept an action that contains a type or anything and anything we might pass to it. In our case, in these actions, we are only passing posts alongside with the type. So let's just do that. So this will be the state, and this will be the action. We'll destruct the type and the posts. And let's create our initial state, as you can see. So this one was an array. This one will be an object containing a data, which is an array. Now and containing is loading property. This will be by default false, so we are not, or by default we did not send a request, so this will be false. This will be true when we dispatch this action that we started to fetching data, so we should display a loading spinner. This is what this means. And another key we'll have is error. By default it's false. This will be true when we see an error. Okay. Now we will have our switch statement on the type. Let's import the action types, right? So in case if the type is equal to fetch post started, I'll return an object that is a copy of the previous state. So I will destruct the previous state like this. This will put every property in this new object. It's called destructuring. And before we forget, let's make the initial state like this, assign it, and let's format the document. Plus I will modify this, so is loading, since the request have been started, will be true. And another case, I will put the failure now, not the starting. I will do something similar. I will keep the previous state, but I will change is loading to false, because it's not loading anymore, and is error to true, so we can display an error message in our UI by reading this property. So case now fetch success, this will return a new object. If you think about it, we will override these three, so we don't need to destruct the previous state, because we are typing or we are creating a whole new state. So you can do this. So data will be equal to the posts, these, and is loading and is error will be equal both to false. And that's it. This is it for our reducer, but we need to retain, in case nothing have been passed as a type, the original state. So this is it. Now let's go to our index and let's import and export everything from here. So import from actions the fetch failure, fetch started, and fetch success, and import from our models the posts model, and from our reducer file import the posts. Format this and export them. You know something, actually thinking about it, we won't need these, so let me remove them for now. So yeah, just export these, and let's go to our index.js in the root of our Redux folder, and let's import our reducer from posts. This is the posts reducer, and let's just put it as a key here, and that's it. Now let's run the server. We should see a key that is posts in the store, pointing to the original state for the posts reducer, which is this one. So yeah, let's test it. Let me just format this so I won't forget it. Might take a while, so bear with me. I'm not gonna lie, learning Redux is not straightforward. I actually learned Redux in Angular, by the way, not in React. In Angular, usually people say that you don't need it. I mean, in a lot of cases they are right, by the way, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, let's just wait. Let's go to Redux. Come on. So this is the init. This is the first actually action that have been dispatched from your Redux library. This is actually everywhere. Every website that uses Redux, this one will be dispatched, and this is actually what creates what calls all your reducers the first time and creates the initial global store. So let's go to state. We should see these are our to-dos. We already defined them, and these are our posts. Now in the next video we will start talking about asynchronous actions in detail, and I will show you how we can create functions that creates them. Just like we created these action creators, there is asynchronous action creators, and these don't retain objects, these retains functions, as you can see, and I will show you to you next time. I mean, they have a weird name, they are called thunks. But yeah, don't let that scare you. But yeah, thank you. If this was useful, please subscribe, and bye.